Hello. In celebration of Earth Day, I'm excited to have the opportunity to share with you some incredible developments in energy and sustainability we've seen recently here in California and at the California Energy Commission. My name is Gabriel Taylor, and I've had the honor to serve as an engineer and energy policy advisor at the Energy Commission for over 20 years. California has long been a global leader on energy and environmental policy, and we are clearly continuing that leadership. We are on our way to a 100% clean electric grid. We are aggressively moving to reduce carbon emissions from buildings and transportation, and we continue to adapt to a changing climate. As the fifth largest economy on the planet and the largest subnational, the world is watching us closely. Early last year, I had the opportunity to represent the state at a green building event in Sydney, Australia. In my opening remarks, I spoke about how climate disruption was no longer a question of if and when in California, but of now and how much. During my talk, I showed several pictures, including one of the San Francisco Bay Bridge enshrouded in wildfire smoke. Only a few months after my visit, Australia entered one of the worst wildfire seasons in its history, and we all saw pictures of the Sydney Opera House similarly enshrouded in smoke. The impacts of a climate change are increasingly present in all of our lives, and as a direct result, California has adopted ever stronger policies to address this crisis. At the same time, over the past decade, the costs of renewable energy and energy storage have fallen dramatically. Both utility-scale solar and wind electricity are now lower cost than fossil electricity generation. It is an especially exciting time when public support, environmental necessity, and market forces align. This is what we have seen in energy and sustainability over the past decade, and the state of California has responded strongly. Senate Bill 100 set California on the path to 100% clean energy. It sets goals of 50% renewable electricity by 2025, 60% by 2030, and finally 100% clean, zero-carbon electricity by 2045. It further requires that we achieve this without increasing carbon emissions elsewhere. This graph shows that we are well on our way to this renewable and sustainable future. We achieved our previous goal of 1/3 of our electricity supply from renewable sources over 2 years ago, well ahead of schedule. And our next goal of 50% renewable energy is already within sight. While our electricity supply is well on the way to sustainability, our building sector remains a major source of carbon emissions. The Energy Commission is working closely with our sister agencies to decarbonize buildings. We have an array of new and ongoing programs and policies focused on buildings, and I'd like to highlight a few examples of these statewide efforts. New statewide minimum building energy efficiency standards went into effect at the beginning of this year. Those standards will make buildings in California some of the most energy efficient, cost-effective, and comfortable on the planet. The standards are also some of the first in the world to require solar generation on all appropriate buildings, cost-effectively reducing energy bills for consumers. The state is leading by example through sustainable state government operations and practice, including energy-efficient state building construction and renewable energy generation at state facilities. A new building compliance option for electric demand-flexible water heaters will allow homeowners and developers to exceed even the high bar the state is setting for decarbonization. A program of incentives for homeowners and builders to install low or zero-emission space heating and water heating. This program is designed specifically to benefit low-income communities. An analysis due to the legislature later this year that reviews the current technology and techniques to reduce carbon emissions in existing residential and commercial buildings. And guidance to utilities to better align rates with short-term costs in renewable supplies, as well as new standards for appliances to allow consumers to take advantage of such rates. This will ensure consumers not only reap the environmental benefits of a renewable and sustainable energy supply, but that they save money at the same time. All of our efforts will only be successful through close collaboration with a diverse array of stakeholders. These include local governments, tribes, environmental organizations, utilities, building developers, trade unions, manufacturers, and many others. We are proud of our public process, and our strong outreach to all stakeholders continues despite local recent challenges. Local jurisdictions in California have similarly responded with aggressive climate plans of their own. Public support for action on these plans is stronger than ever, and over the past year, more than 30 cities and counties in California have adopted local building energy standards that exceed the statewide minimum energy code. In addition to energy efficiency improvements and support for electric vehicle charging, many of these local codes include limits on fossil gas use in buildings. State and local efforts to reduce the carbon emissions from buildings and electricity generation not only address climate change, but these efforts also protect public health by reducing emissions of other pollutants. These efforts are an opportunity to ensure our grid is as resilient and reliable as possible. The energy storage and demand flexibility necessary to integrate inexpensive renewable energy will also improve the reliability of energy services during emergencies. It is an incredibly exciting time in our line of work. After decades of development, we are building the renewable and sustainable energy system we always dreamed about. But not only is this the environmentally sensitive path forward, it is also the most economic. Thank you, and have a safe and happy Earth Day.